Hello, everybody. This here is the Blythe Intaglios, the ancient carvings into the mesas here that are not all that dissimilar to the Nazca Lines in South America. And before I went over the actual formations that are closest to me, I did kind of a reconnaissance flight a little bit west of the main formations, looking to see if I could find anything else and to try to get a feel for the setting of the place. As you can see, there's sort of occasional stream beds here with somewhat higher level, mesas, actually fairly low level mesas, I should say, that where the stream channels kind of cut through this. So here I am at my westernmost, kind of turning around and sort of heading back towards the main formations. Again, I'm just kind of looking for anything additional that I might be able to see, kind of reconnaissance, and also to get a feel for the place itself, the setting. So here I'm turning back to the east, and that blue patch of water there is the Colorado River. And that forms the border here between California, where I'm currently in, and just across the river is Arizona. So again, flying along here, and you can see that the upper level of this sort of ground level is a kind of a hard pan type material, and then you have these occasional streams that are kind of cut through it. It looks to me that the height of the hard pan surface area is maybe 6 meter-ish above the lower areas cut by the stream channels. And now I'm flying basically directly towards what I believe to be the largest of the formations, a singular humanoidal figure, which you can just see just left of center. And again, you can see that the height of that mesa is roughly 6 meters above the sort of floodplain or stream channels below it. And if you notice, the edge of the mesa there is actually pretty close to the edge of the giant figure, and I have to wonder if at some point down the road they're going to need to do some shoring up with rock or something to prevent undercutting of the figure itself. One wonders, when these figures were carved into the hard pan many hundreds of years ago, how much further away from the edge of the mesa it was, and that over time, the erosion has cut into it. So again, I think as close as that is to the edge of the mesa falling off into the stream channel, I think they probably at some point in the not too distant future are going to have to start shoring that up to prevent further erosion. As you look a little closer at this giant figure, humanoidal figure here, a couple of things stand out. First of all, you see towards the top some sort of dual circular features, which were apparently vehicles during World War II. General Patton's troops did training in this area, so they apparently didn't know or didn't care about these figures and just kind of wheeled around as they saw fit. The other thing is how similar looking the figure is to, for example, the alien from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the Spielburg movie. When the spaceship lands at Devil's Tower, and then the taller of the alien figures comes out with very spindly looking arms and legs. That's not dissimilar to that. Not that I'm trying to raise the specter of aliens here. Frankly, I don't believe in them. But in any case, it is an interesting observation that there is some pretty strong similarity between Spielberg's version of an alien versus these humanoidal figures drawn by ancient Native Americans. And now this is the formation that's actually closest to Route 95. And you can see the RV driving by. And there's, again, another giant humanoidal figure. And then above and to the right of that are two figures. The uppermost one is apparently a snake. And there is some dispute as to what the other four-legged feature is. Either maybe a deer or a horse. Horse would be suspect. Or something else. I'm not real sure. But if you look at the legs on the larger humanoidal feature, the sort of above the knee, looks pretty odd. So, you know, if people are trying to paint this as aliens having made it, the aliens were not very good artists, if that was the case. Given the technology they could have used, you would figure they could have done a better job. And it's even more spindly than the first of the giant figures we flew over. Now, I was unaware of the third set of formations, and you'll get a glimpse of that in the right-hand side of the video here in just a little bit. And I didn't know about it, and I couldn't see it well enough in the FPV screen while I was flying to notice them. But I was later able to discover that there was actually three more figures, or two more figures, I should say, to the right. And you'll see a plateau area, well, in a minute. Again, one more time, kind of flying over the I believe, the largest of the figures. Tilting back up again. And that's the access road, which is in pretty decent shape up through this second figure and a little beyond, and then it gets a little less passenger car friendly. All right, I'm going to be panning to the right here, and all right, that plateau right there, on top of that mesa is two more formations, and it is just moving out of the frame now. And again, unfortunately, I was unaware of it while I was flying, so I did not think to fly over it, sadly. And if you look at the bottom, you can see the kind of the larger, coarser rocky type stuff from what appears to be the erosional effect. I don't think that those rocks were, scattered about or moved very much from the water. More likely that the soils were dissolved and carried away, leaving the somewhat larger pebbles and stones. The dirt road there, you can see, well, the fence kind of is the end of the better level of the road, and then as you go further west, it is definitely more of a Jeep or four-wheel drive vehicle type of road. And there's supposedly quite a few more figures going west, but that the larger, more important of the figures are all within this general area here. The three figures that I've flown over and taken closer pictures of, and the two figures that I did not know of at the time. So when I first flew over this giant figure, I was at about 350 feet altitude, something like that. So here I am descending to get a closer look at it. And I think I descended down to a little above 100 feet and get a closer look of it. And again, you can see the swirl marks, this kind of circular marks from tires from, I don't know if they were, Jeeps or tanks or whatever. But, that's going back to World War II. And sadly, some of them have kind of crossed over the figure itself. If you also notice, to the left side of the abdomen area of this figure, there seems to be some minor excavation work that was done, like they were digging into the abdominal area, and the spoil from that was just dumped to the left side of the figure. Not sure when that happened, or even in fact if that was what happened, but that's sort of my impression of it. And again, it's amazing the similarity in the look of this versus, for example, the large alien from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You can see the shadow of the drone there, and the opposition surge. Not so evident here, but in other video more evident, the opposition surge. Turning around to get a closer look, and I think you can see that excavation a little bit more clearly there. So again, somebody was digging in there by my observation, but I don't know when or why. And this brings us to the end of the video, and I thank you for watching and have a good day.